if you really think of the word tech, devices, gadgets, it's not restricted to techies anymore. Everybody calls themselves an influencer. I call myself an uninfluencer. I tell people more what not to buy. If you did not have telecom, no device would be able to do even 1% of what it's doing. 6G is pure hype. And anybody talking about 6G right now is only doing it for headlines. Anything you've seen in tech till now, you haven't seen anything yet. If you're addicted to tech, your life is over.
So Rajiv, it's an amazing feeling to see you at IMC, not because IMC is great or you're so famous, but it's so nice to meet you. When we aspire to look out for any tech gadget, we look for you on YouTube. Now we have to look out for you in the whole exhibition. So
I know IMC has been very interesting, but I also off podcast camera we were talking. You have another connection of history with me.
Yes, I do.
You interned at NDTV.
I interned when you're the guru there as well.
But we'll have that as a separate podcast.
Yes,
right now, let's talk IMC.
This is the mini podcast, the IMC mini podcast. So very quickly, we have seen you literally go around every stall here and obviously go through the frenzy of people who keep hounding you. So how did you find the entire IMC 2024 field?
See, I'll tell you what, let me start off from where IMC means a lot to me. The first 3 years was something I formulated with the Mobile Association. So I was pretty much one of the brains behind putting IMC together. And the reason this was done is that I used to go to these global events like CES, IFA, MWC, Mobile World Congress. And I used to be like, look at this, 2-3 lakh people from all over the world coming, amazing technology, great innovation. India mein aisa kuch bhi nahi. So when we were talking about doing this, IMC started off very small. At that time, if someone was to think that this would be the magnitude, people would have said there's no way. I'm so glad we have an event where there's so much global participation. There are companies from all over. And look at the kind of innovation showcasing that is happening here. I'm not even talking about those that are for the super techie, complex, jargon-filled. The kind of demos, people are loving it. There are people that are coming up to me and saying, "Sir, did you try that? Did you try that?" They are telling me about what they enjoyed out here. I'm seeing people that are coming here with children that are 8 years, 10 years old, and their children are having a great time.
It is not limited to tech lovers only.
I mean, I'm so glad it's not, because if you really think of the word tech, devices, gadgets, it's not restricted to techies anymore. I mean, it's a funny story. I'll tell you the short synopsis of it. At an airport, an airport is a very captive place, right? If you're there, people will come up to you because I can't go anywhere else, right? So in a space of 1 minute, I had a 7-year-old girl and a 73-year-old grandmom asked me the exact same question.
Oh my God.
That shows you that everybody,
has gone
it spans
omnipresent.
70 years, and it doesn't matter if you're a great grandmom or you're a great granddaughter. Everyone has an opinion on technology. So I think this is where it's become so democratic. And that's why I love what IMC has done.
But Rajiv, this whole tech thing you started, not just IMC brainchild, but we have known this whole idea of tech being so important, so simplified as, at least my generation saw it with you. What led you to make it so important to know technology and not just go to a shop and jo mil raha hai, latest de dijiye
No. So my entire journey with tech is that it was a passion from the beginning. I don't think anyone can do tech for a very long time if you don't wake up every day in the morning excited with what's new today, because the world of tech, it hits you from all 4 directions at the speed of light. There's new things coming out every hour, forget every day. So you've got to have the passion, otherwise you become very jaded, very bored with it, right? So the thing is that and you're totally right, Gadget Guru is the first ever show on television to do with tech. BBC Click and all came much later, right? So it was the first ever globally, right? And why did it come and why did it become such a mega hit for almost 20 years? Because we went the opposite way. If you read magazines on tech at that time, they all spoke from on top of a platform, telling you jargon, bade words, complex terms.
Selling their product in the most niche way.
Mere ko sab pata hai, tumko kuch nahi pata, let me educate you. We came from the consumer side. If you buy this phone, here's your experience. And the other thing, which I do even till today, everybody calls themselves an influencer. I call myself an uninfluencer. I tell people more what not to buy than what to buy. Because that's even more important.
That is how the way you filter it out.
Yeah, because every gadget cannot be the best, yeah.
Rajiv, do you believe telecom is a major enabler of tech? That is a sector which is majorly used tech in
it's the foundation. If you did not have telecom, no device would be able to do even 1% of what it's doing. Everything's foundation is network. And if you don't have a network, which is telecom, you'll be nowhere.
Now that you've gone around the exhibition, any 2 things or 3 things that have stayed with you while coming here? Still running in your head?
Ericsson has a robot dog that is very friendly and really liked me and wanted to come home with me. So I've told Ericsson कि मैं उसमें GPS डाल दूंगा. It'll walk home. Battery I think should last. Jio had some very interesting things. I like the fact that they had a television that actually has health metrics.
Wow.
And I thought it's also very funny that it can tell you your heart rate and blood pressure. So you're watching a movie, really enjoying it. Your heart rate is going up, and you're telling your partner,
Horror
"Nahi, bada
movie,
boring."
it's just gone out.
Yeah, or any other kind of movie, telling your partner it's very boring, but your heart rate is all up. So now you know what can really work. I find this interesting because this shows you that all tech is eventually coming together under one platform.
Rajiv, since you have known the tech journey for 20 years is enough to see through a vision world through tech, what is that you think we've come to 6G now? What is that you envision will come up? We are yet to think. You don't want to share, don't, but if you can.
6G is pure hype.
Okay.
Anybody talking about 6G right now is only doing it for headlines. We don't even have a standard. We don't even know what it's going for. What is the low-hanging fruit? What will you do with 6G that you can't do with 5G? So anybody talking 6G is basically BSing right now. Okay. So I'm being very frank about it. The important thing to understand is that the kind of technology that you have now, I'm just going to use a slightly dramatic term I use a lot. Whatever has happened in the history of civilization from the first time that someone lit a fire and said, that's the first invention and innovation, till today, so typewriter, computer, internet, everything, whatever innovation has come and inventions have come till today, all will pale into insignificance with what is going to happen just in the next 2 years. So that is where we are. This is just the tip of the iceberg. So many incredible technologies, AI, 5G, incredible speeds, the kind of robotics that are all coming together and available to the normal person. There are now humanoids, full robots that will be available to your house at less than the price of a scooter. Imagine what is that going to do to it. People will say, "Arey kya bol rahe ho? Abhi to 10 lakh ka." This, the same robot which is now at 10 lakhs was about 2 crores a year back. Look at the way it's coming down. So, if anything you've seen in tech till now, you haven't seen anything yet.
And last question to you, because I don't have time, you have to be somewhere at the session. Since you've spoken so much about tech, where it is going, where it came from, will it also, there is a major disadvantage for people to get attached to technology so much? You're getting a robotic world. Will we get insensitive, detached with humanity and go into a machine world? That's what you thought?
So this is a podcast now that will take 1 hour. I have very strong opinions on that.
Okay.
But
in short,
if I give it to you in one sentence, if you're addicted to tech, your life is over, because addiction is only going to carry on more. Detach yourself. There are many different ways of doing it. It is not at all difficult to do. It's only
give us a hack to do that.
Okay, I'll give you the simplest one. When you go back home, you and your entire family, make sure that you do not have chargers in your bedroom. Have one central area away from your bedroom where all phones are charged. Your addiction with your phones will go down by 90% just because of that. If it's not right next to you, you don't care about it. You'll spend time talking, you'll spend time playing games with your family, you'll spend time doing things with your family. And suddenly you'll remember, Mera phone hai like chhodo. So 90% addiction with one simple rule. Do not have phone chargers in your bedroom.
That's such a great message for all of us. You've been a great inspiration.
Thank you.
And I won't say successful, but I think beyond that, if there's a word, you've gone there.
No, it's a privilege and a pleasure to be here and to have
Let's look for a Tech Guru podcast series soon. Do we have that?
you have the Tech Guru and you have the podcast.
Done. We blend together and we create something.
It's a matter of putting it together now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Thanks.